I'm going to start with giving you an introduction about Ideas Beyond Borders, the organization both of us co-founded, and how really the subject of culture wars, domestic and international, has become a challenge for our work globally. So my name is Faisal al Mutar. I'm originally from Iraq, from Baghdad. I had to leave the country after ending up on a death list. Part of the reason why I became very inspired about the subject of information and ideas and cultures is that the fact that when I grew up, most of the information was censored. And when, after the US intervention in 2003, I realized that most of the knowledge about democracy, about human rights, about many of these ideas that people here hold dear, are not available in the local languages. So I started this organization with my dear friend Melissa in 2017. And the whole idea, and it was kind of interesting where the moment we started this organization, and we're talking about, people tell us, what do you do? What the ideas you translate? And we tell them, Enlightenment, classical liberalism. And one of the same accusation is isn't that white supremacy? So this is where, from the moment we started this organization, the moment we put ourselves out there to the public, the moment the subject of culture wars immediately start intervening in the way we speak and the way we think. Melissa will kind of start this, and then we can talk about what we think are the solutions to move forward. Does that sound good, everyone? Yeah. Awesome. Melissa.
So the structure of the talk would be, I'll make the case that the culture wars are the new Cold War, and go into, then we'll go into consequences of how that's going to impact geopolitics and just life in general. And then we'll go into solutions and open it up for Q&A for everybody. So to begin with, there's a lot of unfinished business from the 20th century. And it used to be that there was a certain way of the geopolitical alignment of the time was between the US and the USSR. It was very binary. You were either with us or against us. You were either Warsaw Pact or NATO. This was largely an economic divide. It was two different economic systems. And this was more important than globalization. But then after the Berlin Wall fell and the USSR collapsed, there was a massive change in the world. And you had globalization becoming ascendant again. And countries started to become more economically interdependent. The peace dividend blossomed. And so we were living in the late 90s, early 2000s at this time where it just felt like, yeah, we were really living at the end of history. For all of those who didn't actually read Fukuyama's book properly. And the thing about globalization was that it wasn't just about economic engagement. It was also political, social, and a moral process, right? It integrated, beyond just markets, it integrated worldviews, it integrated ideas and culture. So I really like this quote because a lot of people kind of misread Fukuyama. They forget, they always quote The End of History, but the full title is actually The End of History and the Last Man. And it's a reference to Nietzsche. He writes that the typical citizen of a liberal democracy was a last man who, schooled by the founders of modern liberalism, gave up prideful belief in his or her own superior worth in favor of comfortable self-preservation. Doesn't liberal democracy, he asked, leave unfulfilled certain core aspects of human personality, struggle, danger, risk, and daring? And will leaving these unfulfilled lead to these last men to assert themselves in new and unforeseen ways?